I'll call the meeting to order. For an update, our Deputy Mayor Lauren Reigers will not be here with us tonight. She's at a conservation meeting at the same time tonight. It's more, just as important to be there as it is here. Adoption of the agenda.
Will Brandon second it, please? Sure. That the draft agenda presented to council and dated the 12th day of November 2025 be adopted as prepared.
Read. Carried. Accepting the minutes of the previous meeting, approval of council minutes, the regular meeting of October 28th. Over in a second, please.
Minutes of the regular council meeting of October 28th, 2025 be adopted as circulated.
Any discussion on this motion? Papers read. Gary. Business arising. Nothing. Okay. Declaration of conflict of interest. Something comes up, just let us know. Announcements and updates. I've got just the two of them. First one is a Remembrance Day. Obviously, it was on Monday. It was a good turnout, even though it was cold. It was nice to see, like I did say to the kids, thanking them for being out there. They were out there about a half hour, 45 minutes before we were, and they weren't exactly dressed for the occasion. I don't think they came in by the bus. I think they were probably wishing they were still on the bus, but they hung in there, and some of the speeches of the two young lady and young gentleman were very, very well done. And it was really nice to see, and all the people that came, most of the ministers were there. They were there. A few other municipalities were helped join in do ours. I was in Bonfield on the one on Sunday. I couldn't make the one on in Calendar on Tuesday, but I was attended also. So, and the other one was the other thing I got is the tree lighting. It's going to happen on November 26th. The lighting starts at 6 o'clock, but I think festivities start earlier than that, 5 o'clock. I will try and make it. I don't know if I'll make it or not, because I also have a meeting on the Wednesday night, which is the health unit. I'm not sure why they have it on Wednesday night, because most of our meetings are on Wednesday night. So I think last year was on Thursday, but I think there's a conflict in time or something like that they had to change it. That's all I have for myself. Has anybody else got anything? Terry?
Yeah, just an update. We've ordered a new sign for the fitness center and it's going up. It'll be installed on Monday. So that's at the cost of the fitness center, obviously, but and recently they put about $30,000 into new equipment, and so really looking good. Its membership is up and we're financially healthy. Thank you.
And the sign says you have to have a membership to get inside.
Sign here.
Well, great work, Councillor Kelly, that you do there. So thank you for that. Delegation to council. None at this time. I'm just going to mark these off. Forget them. Committee reports. Public Works and Infrastructure Committee. We don't have a full report here. We just had our meeting on Monday, just after the Remembrance Day parade. Myself and Councillor Brazo were there, Trottier and our engineer and Monica. We talked about a few things, and some of the stuff that we talked about is mostly for stuff that's going to come up for budget time. Some of the road needs that we need this year. We talked about South Shore on Meadow Drive and a section on Village Road. We also talked about how we're doing with the recycling. So far, it's getting better. Less complaints than was at the beginning for us. At least at a number there that people can contact now and go on. The other thing that we did talk about, the biggest thing we talked about is the garbage bags. Making sure that the people use garbage cans, because we're basically marching orders to our engineer. We're not going to pick them up anymore if we're not going to put them in cans. We've been talking about this for over a year now.
Over a year.
And now, especially winter's coming, the snow plows are going to start hitting them, and they're going to get lost, and be a big cleanup in the spring. Other things that we talked about, Councilor Brazo?
The crosswalks going in up at the highway here.
Yeah.
So they got the posts in today for the push buttons and everything.
They got them in today.
Got them in. They're going. Aside from that, I think that was really it, right?
Yeah.
The roads, the garbage.
Mostly the snow plows are ready.
This
The sanders are ready. They got caught a little bit yesterday, but it's all good at this side of the township, but the other township are not to be slippery, so.
Yeah.
And again, we get that every year, the first snowfall of the year. But as far as all that goes, our docks are all in, all that's done. Any comments or questions or? All good? No. So again, there'll be a full report coming up. Monica will have it in there for our next meeting. Emergency Management Program Committee, none for this time. Next meeting is on November 26th. Interesting.
Why? Tree lighting
Tree.
during the day.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Wednesdays is the day that we have all our meetings on, so it makes it. Fire Emergency Service Committee, anything at this time, or do you have any report?
Nothing to report. Probably have a meeting in December, early December.
Councilor Tran. Next one, Planning Advisory Committee, none for this section. Next meeting is November 19th.
No,
That's been
December,
changed.
been changed to December the 3rd. Put up to December the 3rd. And,
It'll be changed on the website, obviously.
Yep.
Okay. Committee of Adjustments, next meeting is on November 19th. That one's still on?
December the 3rd.
December the 3rd or December 19th? The 3rd, okay. Thank you. So that'll be changed on the website, obviously. Recreation, Parks and Culture Committee, none at this time unless you have something you want to speak about, Councilor Brown.
No, at this time.
Okay. Brighton Committee, nothing at this time. Report, Library Board minutes from November 3rd. I know we've all got a copy. Deputy Mayor sent me a quick note just to have an overview. Talked about a few items to mention at the library meeting. Review and complete strategic plan was completed. Review of all bylaws and procedures nearing completion, but there's a lot hard work done in the meantime, especially from the chair of the library and other board members as well, and the CEO. Free use of Mango language and ancestry.com available. Library of Things have a lot of great resources. Youth Lounge is very successful. Volunteer Porthole is creating need help for the library, making people feel connected to our community. Programs Trivia Night is on November 18th at 7:30. I believe that is at the arena, right? Or is it at the library?
Trivia
Yeah,
at the arena.
at the arena. Youth art exhibit from November 3rd to 29th. And lots of great programming for all ages. Thank you, Lauren. Now, she sent me another one today, just go back here a bit. I think the trivia night is partnership with the Municipality Recreation and Parks and Culture Committee. That's what she kind of said to me, so.
Staff, not the committee.
On the committee? Okay. All right, so we got that straightened. And as far as anything else, or any questions for the library, I can answer them as much as I can, but if anything, give the Deputy Mayor an email and she can answer your questions. B, OPP Detachment Board, none for this section. Next meeting is on November 27th, 2025. Is that during the day?
Yeah, sorry, at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m.
That's a Thursday.
So the 27th wouldn't work neither for me because I would have a meeting on the 27th also for the lighting, the tree lighting.
Want to work for a lot of people on 27th.
Right. Castle Home minutes from September 25th, 2025. We're going to talk about that. Or is that going to come up under new business as far as what our,
It's under correspondence.
it's under correspondence, talking about the interest
Mhm.
charges?
Yeah, correspondence.
We can bring it under correspondence, I believe. Okay.
There is the actual email and levy.
It's in the package, yeah.
Yeah.
So everything is there. You've looked at it and we're pretty well,
Not much we can do about it because they can levy.
right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the questions we're going to talk about unless we want to talk about it now in correspondence, but we're supposed to get charged for interest rates, but we are.
It's in correspondence.
It's in correspondence.
Bring it up then, sure, yeah.
Okay. District Nipissing Social Service Administration Board minutes from October 22nd. Anything on there? Or Terry, you have anything to really speak about or?
Nothing major, quite frankly.
Nothing really changes except our rates go up. Sorry?
Nothing goes down.
No.
Unfortunately, but And I've talked to our CAO about it and I've advised them what goes on and the problem is it's originally mandated what we pay. The problems that are presented for the DSAD board for the most part are city centric and that we don't have problems they have. As far as the city goes, and that's true, like, from what I understand across Ontario. This homeless, the opioid crisis, and of course, we're looking at some involvement, obviously, with hopefully the school in Astorville being refurbished. And I know there's some backroom work going on as far as they've had a tour. District social services, some of the senior staff had a tour of the old school, and anyway, it's a work in progress. It's nothing to report, but I know there's a general interest in getting it refurbished, and the person involved, the owner right now, has had good experience with refurbishing vacant schools in the past, so hopefully something similar is going to occur in
Well,
Astorville.
we kind of had a discussion with them already. He's finishing up one project in North Bay, which is on Archie Street.
Yep.
And hopefully that'll be done by April, May of next year. And then that's his next one on his list
Yep.
to get done or get started anyway. So
And I can share with council the fact that I've talked to senior staff at DSAB and they said that the school in Astorville is one of their top priorities. It will be until things get going. So I know they're working with the developer and that's all I can basically pass on.
I'm glad they're doing that because I can't get a straight answer as far as daycare goes. So I've been working with the YMCA on it and for some reason we're getting stonewalled there. So that's.
Now that has come up at different meetings and there's still, from what I understand, a shortage of certified individuals who can take over classrooms and so forth and take it. It's basically, and it's still 2 years from what I understand, there's supposed to be changes. I mean, quite frankly, 30, 40 years ago, you got out of grade 13, you took a year's teacher's college and you taught school for 35 years. Now to be early education, you need 2 years. And it doesn't pay near what is comparable when you look at 2 years of investment of your time when you're not making money. So there's a shortage of individuals who are certified to take over instructing. And that's the base, that's a problem. I've talked to people, Pembroke, Deep River, and I've talked to people in the north of us as well, at Phenom. Everybody has the same problem. They can't find people qualified, willing to work for what they pay.
That depends which part of the department they're with. I know the Y is different from
Yes, it is.
DSAB, but DSAB still funds part of the Y. It's them funded and they don't have a problem. So there's a miscommunication or detachment there that we're not finding out the exact truth. So
Yep.
I'm still like hopeful it's a property that would work. He kind of gets an amount to go up to, but we still need a license. There's one license available, so that's what we're working on right now.
Sure.
You want to watch her either?
No.
And if you can't answer, it's not a problem. Just kind of reading some other. The migration of homelessness in our district, is it going up or is it going down or is it kind of settling? Is any numbers come across your meetings?
There's still people coming into the North Bay region from other areas, north and south of us.
But still,
And I think that was in the paper as well.
Yeah.
And it's just because of their mobility and lack of accountability, it's really hard to pinpoint, Steve, but I would say definitely. Because we're known as,
so it's not decreasing.
no, not to my knowledge. And there was a study in Point that took place about a month ago. And the numbers they are increasing. Not exponentially, but there's still an increase. And
Yeah, so money's, how do I say this? ESAP is still paying a lot of money monthly for hotels and all that. Is that still going on?
it's ongoing and it's going to get worse. We have the worst winter is the more that goes up. And I know it's basically common knowledge that some of the shelters people feel safe in. Some people don't feel safe and don't feel secure. And then there again, they have an upset limit at nighttime. And so if it's 30 below, you have a choice, either get a hotel room or let people freeze to death. So it's you're between a rock and a hard place, that's for sure. But
Thanks. Yeah.
I go over the minutes with our CAO, just letting you know. And there's things I agree with and some things I don't. And I have mentioned, it's been mentioned before, that I do say we're not getting much bang for our buck in East Ferris, quite frankly. And there's only one taxpayer. And we're paying a lot of money with very little return. That's East Ferris centric, which is we're representing our taxpayers here.
Sure.
But as I say, we're provincially mandated what we pay. And hopefully some of it comes back a little bit, especially either childcare or, as I say, refurbishing the school. That's a start. So, and I know they were instrumental in helping do some extending loans to the villas when we had the villas being built. So
Yeah.
they do take part when they can. So, but there's every municipality in the area's got their hand out, let's face it. Money's tight for everyone. Okay.
If you bear with me, I'd like to go back to roads again. I forgot to mention one thing, and I think Councilor Brazo will agree with me. The tracks in Masterville. We've been having heartfelt discussions and heated discussions with CN, and we're having a bit of a stumbling block. I was kind of hoping I'd finally be here today and he can confirm what's been, also confirm if you have any
Quickly.
Asterville, which is Lake Nahas Road. We've got the bump signs up there, but right now we're trying to figure out what's happening. We're trying to get the approaches done before the asphalt plant closes. But now we're having a little bit of a discussion with them to find out exactly who's in charge of what, who's paying for what. They're on the impression we have to pay for everything, including the rail land itself, even the rail tracks to be upgraded. So we're just letting you know that's why nothing's getting done at this moment. We're looking at $40,000 versus $210,000.
Can't be responsible for all of it.
Unfortunately, there's an agreement that was done back in 1975. The heated discussion is going on about now.
That'd be huge liability. We took all that on. So there's got to be.
My understanding, the agreement was for a project agreement in 1975. It's not an ongoing.
So that's the way, that's what they're trying to tell us, and we're saying, no, that's not right. So that's what our fight's on about right now. So
Okay.
people that have been complaining about the tracks, saying that we are working on it, trying to get something resolved sooner than later. So I know it's on the docket for 2026, but in the meantime, something's got to get done. But the problem is the asphalt plants are closing in another week. So unless, what's that?
Solve that.
Okay. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Okay, sure.
Report on to declare the fire truck surplus asset. Fire Chief Dave Stefan's not here.
Okay, so there's a report on the agenda, report to council regarding declaring our surplus asset, 2007 pumper tanker fire truck. As council's aware, in May of 2025, you guys approved the purchase of a new fire truck. The new fire truck was delivered the last week of October, so we're in and it's been brought into service. So we're in a position now to sell the older fire truck. So the recommendation of council is that we declare the 2007 pumper tanker fire truck a surplus asset, and that council authorizes staff to dispose the asset on the GovDeals auction website that we use with a minimum reserve bid of $75,000.
And this was brought forward by the chief. Okay. Any discussion on the motion?
It's just a question. Does that go out to all fire departments in the area?
So our fire chief has approached fire chiefs in the area, like neighboring municipalities, to see if there was any interest. There was, although nothing came to fruition with it. So the idea now is to go on GovDeals, but still send something out to local municipalities to say, hey, we have a fire truck, it's on GovDeals. You're welcome to bid on it now. leave it at that. What we were also thinking, council, was to put an ad in a, like a mining magazine and also one that's a fire department related, like if the, to say, hey, we're disposing of this asset. We'll see it on Gov Deals basically, because we're aware that there's also mines by fire trucks. It's not just municipalities, right? So we're just trying to put it out there and get a greater reach. Still send it to Gov Deals and let the highest bidder win kind of thing, right? The minimum reserve bid, how that works is no, people bidding on it aren't aware of it unless they tune into our meeting tonight and hear us talking about a reserve bid. What that does is it's protection for the municipality that there will not be anything accepted that's below 75,000. Now, at committee level, we've discussed this truck being worth, $120,000, still a good truck. We could put the reserve bid higher than that. The idea with it was to leave some wiggle room. Like I'll give you an example. If we feel we can get 100 for it and we put 100 and somebody comes forward and offers 95 and there's no other bids. Would council like that or not, right? So if you feel like there's absolutely no way we would accept less than 100, we'll put the reserve bid for 100.
They gotta tie their hands up though.
Now, on a graded value, we were only offered about $50,000. And we said, well, absolutely not, right?
But the reserve bid doesn't show up on the site anyway.
No.
Just that what we're passing here
What
today.
happens is once, if you put it on for 2 weeks and it ends, we know like anybody can go and see what the bids are. It just means that we will not get rid of it unless it's above that. So yes, if somebody comes at 76,000, it's one bid. We can't back out now and say we're not, right? So where do you want to have it, right? We may have left a little, yeah, we might have left a little too much wiggle room, right? Like if you know we're absolutely not going to accept less than 90, 100, 110, well then change the reserve bid. One thing to note is 7.5% of what the selling price is goes to Gov Deals as a commission. That's their cut of him. So at 75,000, we'd be losing about close to $6,000 for the premium, would be below 7,000.
And what are they saying? Have you had discussion with them? What they,
Gov Deals, they're not assessors like for value wise. They just take care of the site. They assist us with posting. And then what happens with Gov Deals, the nice part about Gov Deals, once you sell something, all the administration is done through Gov Deals. They produce bills of sale. They deal with the purchaser and everything. All that we do is the purchaser comes, gets it from us. We give an ownership that we sign off on. They've paid Gov Deals. Like there's no exchange. That's the beauty of it. And then we get a check in the mail from Gov Deals that everything is dealt with. So, I mean, they work for 7.5%.
again, it's in between. And we're told 50,000. We figure we get over 100 for it. It's basically in the middle of $75,000. If it does come up to, if it sells for 80 and 90,000, it could be the 100,000.
Yeah.
Put it at 100,000, you're not gonna get any bids less than that. May not get any.
The only thing is if somebody bids 80, that's what it's going for, whether we feel we didn't get our price or not, right? So, and that was a bit of a, when we looked at that saying, okay, well, maybe we advertise it out there, mining, like I said, mining magazine, a fire one, to kind of direct people there, because you only know of Gov Deals if you're constantly going to Gov Deals to see what the deals are, what's being sold. Right? If it's open for 2 weeks and fire chiefs aren't going to Gov Deals, well, then they're not aware of it, right? So, and we can leave it open longer than that. My experience with Gov Deals is people don't start bidding usually day one. It's driving up the price. Like if it's open for 3 weeks, it gets a little bit more activity towards the end, right? You see who's bidding.
Well, this is the right time of the year because people are just starting their budgets right now. So that's the one you want to sell it. If you're going to sell it to the municipality, it'd be now.
Some of them depends on where they're at with budget. Like for us, we would say, oh, well, we got to go to council because we don't have our budget passed yet. It doesn't get passed till next year. Some municipalities are already in the process. I'll pass them, right? It depends on who's looking for a used truck, right?
Just one thought, you might want to also include any lumber manufacturers in your advertisement as well.
Okay.
Because they might want a truck on site. It's possible.
The only other thing is too is where the 50,000 came in, that came from a company that was gonna resell it. So you can't take that 50 and take that as the true number. They were gonna resell it. So they want the profit margins there. So the 50 is out of the question.
Yeah.
I think we should be increasing it. to at least 89. That gives us under the 100K mark. If you look at any other vehicle, like this is a truck, this is a fire truck apparatus, it's with a full pumper, it's ready to go.
It's been well cared for, so.
Oh, yeah, looked after, we have maintenance records for this. It's, you know what, I think 75 is a little low. And if you look at, say, $6,000 off the 75, you go at 89 through Gov Deals under that 90 mark. So if somebody puts in a little bit of a bid, you know what I mean? You're still lose that 7.5%. So at least you're recouping a little bit more money. Or if somebody does put in for, say, 99.9, you know what I mean? So you're still over the 90 mark. So I think the 75 is a little low. That's my personal opinion. I'll leave it up to you guys with your thoughts, but I like the 89. I don't know how that goes for a vote, or if it an agreement or a disagreement, or.
Well, we have right now, we have the chief's recommendation right now. We have to vote on that one or change it.
Don't even.
You can amend it.
I know what care the truck has received, and I also know how busy it has been. I mean, our structured fires, fortunately, have been few and far between, but we do have them. So it's utilized on a regular basis, and I'm fine with 89,000 if that's.
And why I say that too, like that was a frontline pumper for us, and a lot of other places that is a frontline pumper for other municipalities or townships or even mining companies.
And it wouldn't mean much to people who are not involved in the fire service, but Steve and I were for a lot of years. You were as well, Rick. You can draft from the back, or you can draft from the side or the front. And that's a big deal. Okay, so it's a very functional truck. It's well utilized. So I'm fine with I'm fine with 89. That's your suggestion. I'll go along with that.
You change the number? That's seems like we're.
No, I think that you guys know it. You know, the trucks.
They have no mileage on them.
And how compressed.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go, we can always change the number, right?
So you can always, yeah, if it's unrealistic, we'll know pretty quick. Yeah,
Okay, so we have a motion, need a mover and a seconder?
sure.
The Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of East Ferris declares the 2007 pumper tanker fire truck as a surplus asset, and the council authorizes staff to dispose of the surplus asset on GovDeals online auction site with a minimum reserve bid of $89,000.
Any discussion on the motion? Favors read, carried. Notice of motions, request by myself, Nordic Mattawa Conservation Authority Board membership.
So you have the option now, Mayor Champagne, to introduce the motion, and if council agrees to table the motion this evening, then we can do so. If not, it'll come back to the next meeting.
Well, I would like to get it done sooner than later if it's gonna get done. Okay, so we just need a mover and a seconder.
So we'll table the motion.
Yep.
Are you okay with that, Steve? It has to be unanimous.
Sorry?
Are you in favor of tabling the motion that Mayor Champagne would like to bring forward as a notice of motion? It has to be unanimous. Otherwise, I can't table the motion.
And then
I'm in favor of this motion, so.
that's just to bring it up so you can vote on it.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
We can vote on it. Okay. So a mover and a seconder?
Can I just put this on pause for a second, and I forgot to mention some, so for the truck to go for 89,000, so when's that's gonna proceed, so we, direction from the fire chief, that's most, okay, perfect, thank you, sorry, I didn't mean that.
In all honesty, GovDeals had already posted it yesterday. It was, but no, we have a council meeting. So they didn't say, hey, we're going out. They were just assisting with the ad and everything. And Steph said, no, I can't post it. So it was full. So
Okay.
yeah, it's ready to roll.
So it's gonna go November 13th.
Tomorrow it's going on GovDeals.
Okay, sorry.
And then we're gonna reach out to those online magazines, just saying that to get the word out. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I'll send council a link to it so you can watch us, because it's gonna be open for 2 weeks on GovDeals.
It'll show the bidding on it.
Yeah.
Would you like to get a drink of water?
I want to. Okay, so the motion reads, whereas in Ontario, conservation authorities develop and deliver local watershed-based resource management programs on behalf of the province and municipalities and are governed by the Conservation Authorities Act. And whereas each conservation authority was established by the province at the request of municipalities within a common watershed, and these municipalities work together on local resource management, including flooding and erosion issues, and appoint each conservation authority's membership. And whereas the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority, the NBMCA, is governed by a board of directors with each director appointed by the respective council representing the 10-member municipalities, North Bay, Callander, Calvin, East Ferris, Matawan, Powassan, Mattawa, Bonfield, Chisholm, and Papineau Cameron. And whereas in accordance with section C1D of the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority Board of Directors Administrative Bylaw, the administration is responsible for the day-to-day operations. The general membership is responsible for the matters of governance, ensuring compliance with applicable legislation, and ensuring appropriate policies are in place, and for financial soundness of the authority. And whereas in accordance with section C1F of the Board of Directors Administrative Bylaw, the Chief Administrative Officer / Secretary Treasurer shall manage the operations of the organization, including all employees of the authority. And whereas in accordance with Appendix 1 of the Code of Conduct of the Board of Directors Administrative Bylaw, all members, whether municipal councillors or appointed representatives of a municipality, are expected to conduct themselves in a manner that reflects positively on the authority. And whereas beginning in April 2024, the media has been reporting on staff management issues at the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority, whereby the work environment was described as, quote, very toxic, and the authority is in, quote, total chaos, casting a negative light on the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority and its board of directors. And whereas after initial media reports, it became evident that there were issues at the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority when the Director of Human Resources, the Chief Administrative Officer, the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, among other staff, all resigned from the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority in April and May of 2024. And whereas in April of 2025, a new Chief Administrative Officer began employment, but was later escorted off the property in July of 2025, which resulted in the manager of lands resigning. And as of today, the CAO position remains vacant. And whereas more recently, the media has been reporting on issues of alleged harassment by board members and staff, as well as infighting amongst board members, resulting in the chair being removed from the position. And whereas the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority staff have been left to manage the day-to-day operations of the authority without a leader, reporting directly to board members, which has resulted in a lack of service and or delayed response for member municipalities. And whereas counsel for the Corporation of the Municipality of East Ferris is of the opinion that the current board of directors of the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority is dysfunctional, and that the board is ill-equipped to carry out their duties in a manner that reflects positively on the authority as stipulated in their code of conduct, and that the ongoing management board issues are preventing the authority from efficiently and effectively carrying out the authority's mandate under the Conservation Authorities Act. Be it hereby resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Municipality of East Ferris requests support from all North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority member municipalities to replace the representative on the board by January 1st, 2026, so that a new board can begin the process of getting the authority past its current state of disorder and turmoil, and hire a CAO to lead the day-to-day operations and the organization's staff. And further, that this resolution be sent to the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority Board, all member municipalities of the board, Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli, and Ontario Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks.
Thank you. My rationale behind this is that there's things going on. It's been going on for a while. And there is some good people on the board. There's no question about it. But who do you blame? Who do you don't blame? And everybody's getting painted by the same brush. My rationale behind it is I think the board should be replaced, should be start brand new, because the conservation do a lot of good work. Unfortunately, it's even affecting us too, like, trying to get reports done and through our engineering. And it's not as fast as it used to be. And there's less staff. And it seems to be like one staff is doing a job of 3 people. And again, I know a lot of the board members and I understand their feeling on it, but I also understand that the conservation has to keep going. I know there's a big change coming in the next couple of years as far as the Conservation Act. Might be looking at uniting all the conservation authorities together. But right now, we need a clean slate. It's going to be hard to hire somebody to come in, I want to call it a mess for not lack of words. And how do you get a proper person there to direct? Right now, we've got chairs directing, we've got other past chairs directing. And it's not right. It's like myself sitting on a chair as a committee to tell the staff what to do. That's not what I'm there for. We're reporting to us and that's all we should be doing. So that's my feeling behind it. I'll leave it open here to if anybody else wants any discussion on it. I don't know who the mover was. I believe it was you, Councillor Kelly Brazo. If you have any comments.
Not really. I don't know a whole lot except for what you read in paper, right? And what's being said, being new to council. So, you know, I do agree with you that, you know, the best start is probably a fresh start. You know?
Kelly?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you. I just find that it's what has gone on and I am not part of that. And I'm very similar to Councillor Brazo. I only know what I read, but it's resulted in a lot of negative media attention. And that has resulted, in my opinion, of erosion of public trust in this board. And when you get an erosion of public trust, I think any action, and we're recommending an action, it's beyond our scope to say this is what's going to happen. We're recommending the action of, and I look at it as a heads up that as a major satellite player in the Mattawa Conservation Authority's directive, quite frankly, we're not happy with the way things are going. We're not happy with the service that we're not getting, quite frankly. And I think when you erode public trust, you've got to take an action. This is an action saying, this is a heads up for everybody on the board. Senior staff, we're not happy and we're not content with the way things are. And I think a change, an overall change would be effective. I think recommending a change might be even more effective. Everybody starts marching to the same drum and become a team player. There's supposed to be a team. It's like councils. If you've got a real problem, you've got oil and water mix, and it doesn't mix at all, you got a major problem. So if you're all going in the same direction, great. Right now, it seems dysfunctional. And I think one of the words that used in the paper was chaos. And that's what I see. That's presented by the media. So I'm in favor of the motion. Thank you.
Councillor Tran?
I'll keep it really short here. I don't think that we need to be doing this motion. I think taking everybody off the board and putting new people on, I think you're going to cause a lot of havoc with other townships and cities. I said, you're going into election year, so they're going to have maybe this many meetings, and then it goes into it's going to be shut down. So bringing new people in with that has no idea what the Mattawa Conservation Authority does. There's a lot of people that's been on that committee for a lot of years. I think you just let it play out until to the election, and let them do. I know they have the meeting tonight, and I know that there's some stuff that they're moving forward on, possibly to capture a CEO. So I'm not in favor of this motion or request support. So I think there's capable people there. Yes, I know they've gone through some issues, right? But you know what? Unfortunately, there's some they fell into a bad luck for a couple of things. And I think they're gonna climb out of it. I think there's people there that is very capable. And I think that's where it should lie there. And we should maybe just sit back and watch it unfold. So that's my opinion. And
But again, everybody has an opinion. The
exactly.
only problem that I have with it is that we've been letting unfold for too long.
Well, we shouldn't have let it go this long though.
4 or 5 municipalities right now cut off out of the septic program, and that's their biggest moneymaker. If they lose on that, they have the funding coming in.
Well, there's other things that's gonna be happening. So you're gonna probably, with the government, with the changes coming up in 2026, I think you might be putting the cart in front of the horse here. So, there's could be many things that could happen here with the CA, board as well as the office. So I'm in favor to let this get played out. If that was the case, then it should have, this motion should have came, 2 years ago, earlier. So,
But if there was an issue 2 years ago and it's still there today, that's a bigger problem.
so anyway,
Again,
you asked my opinion, I give my opinion.
no, it's,
If you want to debate my opinion, we can do that too. So it's not a problem.
there's nothing to debate.
And then that's my opinion.
So, I guess we'll have a vote.
We have a recorded vote.
Sure.
Favor?
Ordered. So we'll start with, I believe it's Terry first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Champagne, yes.
Carried.
Terry, on the discussion of motion? Terry. You spell, oh, no, sorry. First motion bylaws.
Yep.
There we go. Bylaw 2025-48, first, second, and third reading.
Seconder? Would you like me to introduce that?
Sure.
So this is a bylaw council just to amend the wording of the bylaws that were passed for municipal law enforcement officers. There's 2 of them in front of you this evening. One is for Techpreet Singh, one is for Valerie Murphy. We are simply adding a line to those bylaws, and maybe Greg can confirm that it's just for property standards and for provincial offenses issues. They were not included in the original bylaws, so.
Yeah, provincial bylaws, I believe, that's right. Okay.
So the first motion reads as follows: whereas council for the municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session. Be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to amend bylaw 2025-40 to appoint a municipal law enforcement officer as authorized under the provisions of the Community Safety and Policing Act be read a first, second, and third time, passed and numbered 2025-48, and that said bylaw be signed by the mayor, the clerk, and sealed with the corporation.
Discussion of the motion. The only question I have, everybody's been to their course, everybody's been qualified for this, right?
There's no qualifications. There is an association, Municipal Law Enforcement Officers Association. Valerie's gone through some training. Techpreet has not gone through training, but it's not required. And Techpreet's more of a backup if for some reason Valerie wasn't here.
Okay. All in favor?
That's the bylaw.
Carried. You have a question, Councillor
I
Trent?
think there is no, we're good, thanks. I don't have a question.
Right, item B. 2025-49, first and second, third reading. I believe that's for the, first one was for Valerie, I believe. That's Tick Freed.
Yes.
First one was for Valerie, next one's Tick Freed.
Seconder, please. Whereas council for the municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session, be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-08 to appoint a municipal law enforcement officer as authorized under the provisions of the Community Safety and Policing Act be read a first, second, and third time. Passed in number 2025-49. That said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the clerk and sealed with the seal of the corporation.
Any discussion on this motion? As read, carried. Right. One is C, bylaw 2025-50, first and second reading for the bylaw for municipalities first respecting established requirements for payment fees, information, service and activities for use of the corporation property. I think everybody's had a copy of it on. Got a chance to take a look at it. If you have any, only the first and second reading, it's gonna come back up in December for the final. So if there's something on there, you see changes for it, you want to see changes, you have 2 weeks to, or 3 weeks now, I guess, to bring it up again.
Yeah.
There's only a few that I was, go ahead.
If I may, the reason, we were looking to change, building permit fees and some fees in, buildings. What we did is we offered up to all staff to review the fees and charges bylaw to see if they wanted any amendments as well. And then when we were looking at it, the last year that the bylaw covered was 2026, which is also an election year. It's the last year of a term of council. So the problem with that is when the year runs out, we have new members possibly that come forward. One of the first bylaws we'd have to deal with is the fees and charges. So what we did is we added 2027, an additional year. So that this way our fees and charges bylaw carries on, because if not, it would be 2026 fees that just carry on for 2027 because we have no new fees. So what we've done is added a column. So now we won't have to review fees and charges until closer to the end of the first year of a new term of council. So that's why the whole 2027 is brand new. You'll see that some departments, there's no changes, some very little. That's what I have to say to it. The reason it won't come to next council meeting, but it comes to the first meeting in December, we have to give 21 days notice when there's fees change for building permits under the building code. So that's why we gave notice. We posted a notice yesterday on our website, giving the 21 days notice, and we'll come back December 9th, I believe is the meeting.
Yes.
And that's where a third reading can happen. So unless there's some discussion tonight, my thoughts were take a look at it. There's quite a bit in here. There's quite a few schedules. If you have any questions, call staff, but then look to vote on it December 9th. Because I know when speaking with the mayor this morning, he had a few questions about some of the fees for the landfill. And there's quite a bit in this bylaw. So I'll leave it at that.
And we haven't really any major fees increases in the last few years, so, you know, times have changed and we got to look at recuperating some of our cost and this is one way of looking at it. So if you ever have an opportunity, take a look at it. If you have any comments tonight, that's fine. But take a look at it, make some phone calls and we'll bring it back up for a final reading in December.
We do need to pass a resolution for the first and second reading.
Yeah.
Making a mover and a seconder, please. Whereas council for the municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session, be it hereby resolved that a bylaw of the municipality with respect to this, be passed with respect to the establishment and requirement of the payment of fees for information, services, activities, and use of the corporation's property, be read a first and second time, numbered 2025-50. That said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the board.
Any other discussion on the motion? Favors read. Councillor Tran.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, you good? All right, correspondence. How do I?
We have one
One
more.
more bylaw.
I just crossed it out. Okay, sorry, D. Oh, yes, Scottsdale Road, yes. Need a mover and a seconder, please, put on the floor.
Whereas council for the municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session. It hereby resolved that a bylaw to close and convey a part of the road allowance adjacent to 45 Scottsfield Road described as part of the road allowance between concessions 7, parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, Plan 36 R15-340, Township of East Ferris, Nipissing, be read a first, second, third time, passed on number 2025-51. That said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with seal of corporation.
I'm gonna get Greg to explain it to us, please, if you don't mind.
I'll be fairly brief. This is a follow-up to bylaw 2025-45, which we passed at the last meeting. So the bylaw that is for tonight is identical to that bylaw with the exception of part two. So what happened when we passed the bylaw at the last council meeting? The applicant who is purchasing the section of road allowance, they own multiple adjacent properties to the road allowance section they're purchasing. And the legal description that's included in part two of this bylaw, in bylaw 2025-45, the incorrect legal description for one of the adjacent properties was used. So this is really just fixing the clerical error that puts the correct adjacent property into section two. So it doesn't affect the intention of the bylaw is the same as the one that was passed at the last council meeting to sell the section of road allowance for $12,200. And it would be merged with the adjacent property. It's just fixing the legal description that was used.
So just the legal description, it wasn't properly inputted.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Any other discussion for, questions for, Greg? See none? Okay, need a mover?
We've had
Okay, any other discussion? Favors read? Carried. Correspondence, we'll start with you, Terry.
Sure. I've only got H, which is municipality of Wawa. We've been very lucky with our return policy and recycling bottles and cans, so I wouldn't want that to. And now, of course, we've got beer stores closing and so forth. And it's going to individual stores. I just hope it continues on because it's been very successful. And I remember taking a couple of seminars on the bottles, especially. Our bottles get, it's like over 90% recycled. So that means it's not going in the landfills and they're used multiple times. So I just wouldn't want it to change. That's the reason for the motion.
Councillor Tran?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Good. Councillor,
Good as well.
you're good as well?
we want to table the motion from Wawa.
Sure, if you want to.
Can I move right a second, please? That council for the municipality of East Ferris supports the municipality of Wawa, urging the government of Ontario to collaborate meaningfully with municipalities, retailers, environmental organizations, and experts to implement a fair, effective, and inclusive solution that ensures long-term success of Ontario's deposit return and recycling systems. That a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Premier of Ontario and the Ministry of Environment Conservation.
Discussion on motion, favors read, carried. I have two of them. One of them, well, before I get to Castle F, town of Bradford, West Clenberry, remove of HST, GST from new home support housing affordability. But there was something in the budget that just came up, but that was first time home buyers.
Yeah.
I believe was gonna get taken out, but yeah, I think Ford spoke of that. It was part of their budget, but for building Canada homes, more homes. Home buyers try to waive the up to $1 million house, I believe it is. But I don't mind this motion also, but I mean, you can't get every home to be GST exempt. I agree with first time home buyers, that's what I would agree on, but I don't know if I want to agree across the board to. This is what they're basically asking us here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I agree with this.
The board.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that because you got to find them somewhere, so I don't think we'll bring that one forward.
Okay.
The one we're looking at, the next one is Castle Home quarterly capital levy notice. We just got a notice and funny because we had a meeting about a month ago and we're told there was, they were taking money out of reserve but not to pay for our interest charges. And now we've got one bill come in from, I believe, I'll let the CEO talk a little bit more about it, but this is from September till October, I believe.
July to September.
July to September.
Yeah, so as the mayor mentioned, there was a discussion at Castle Home and my understanding was that we were gonna likely see 1/4 levy this year. They've been pulling from reserves to cover interest costs on the debt. So when I got this one, I was somewhat surprised because it's July, August, September, so it's telling me we're gonna get in October, November, December. If you can't cover those months out of reserves, I'm not sure you're gonna cover October, November, December. So my feeling is we're likely gonna see two of these bills this year. Just to let council know, we budgeted $140,000 this year to cover interest. So we've got it covered in budget. From that 140 though, we did take $39,000 for the parking lot project. Remember, we came forward. So even with that 39,000, this 37,000 and possibly another 37,000, we still have money in the budget. But it's looking like we're gonna have 2 quarters to pay is my understanding. One thing is they issued it October 31st and it's not due till January 31st. We're just gonna pay it. I mean, we've got the money, but I'm thinking if you're gonna levy us then for October, November, December, you're not gonna know December's cost until likely January. So are they giving us till May or March or whatever to pay it? As an accountant, we're gonna keep our costs in the same year they incur. So whether I get another levy in January, we're gonna put it into this year. We've got funds to cover it. But this is the first time we've been issued a levy. So their total costs were 476,000 and our share is 37,000, just a little under 8%.
What kind of disturbing in a way is when you look at it, it doesn't have to pay till the end of the January. Well, is it because you're thinking, well, people don't have the money, some of them spells on the money now, so they can budget for 2026? That ain't a proper way of doing things.
No,
That's not what we're gonna do. So if that's what they're doing, they gotta get another bill in January, I believe, because this was gonna happen here, because the last 10 months. But then we took us, 4 months to get this bill? July.
well, we got it October, they invoiced us October 31st and it included September, so a month, like.
So we don't know for 100% that they're gonna charge us for this November. But so you have an invoice right now for October.
July, August, September, interest costs.
So it's still
If
October,
you
November.
don't
December.
have money in your reserves to cover July, August, September, how do you have money then to cover the last quarter? Like, to me, if you were only invoicing us for 1 quarter, you'd invoice us the last quarter of the year is just my train of thought on it. One thing to mention as well is that, there has been an interest rate, like the Bank of Canada decreased the interest rates by at least a quarter point.
Yes.
Since this has happened, July, August, September, right? They may have even increased it more than once because July, is quite a ways away. What I'm getting at is maybe our levy won't be 37,000 the last quarter, right?
But that's what they told us back in about 2 weeks ago. They said the reason we're not getting bills because it dropped a quarter point before. Now they dropped another quarter point. So that's.
Yeah.
And
I say,
some phone calls out there.
yeah, and I say that it might be less than 37, but also the more you borrow, the higher your interest is. So if they've gotten any more advances for October, November, December, well, then it could be more than 37,000. So anyway, I'll place a call and see what the deal is for the last quarter. In the end, we've covered it in our budget.
All right, so just keeping you up to date. And that's all I have under correspondence. Action item, approval of correspondence. Seconder for the correspondence.
That council approve the correspondence and information as circulated with the agenda of November 12th, 2025.
David read. Carried. Approval of accounts payable, please.
Brenda, seconder, please.
Sure.
That council approve the general accounts for the municipality of East Ferris as indicated in the check register dated November 12th, 2025, in the amount of $338,883.65.
Discussion on this motion. David read. Carried. Other business. Cable, Councillor Kelly, Councillor Tran. No new business. Okay. Confirmation, confirmatory bylaw, please.
Secretary, please. Whereas council for the municipality of East Ferris deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session. It hereby resolved that bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council from October 29th, 2025 to November 12th, 2025 be read a first, second, and third time, passed to number 2025-52. That said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation.
David read. Carried. German.
Brenda, seconder, please. that we do now adjourn at 5:59 PM and meet again on November 25th, 2025.
It was